Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Hope you've got your coffees ready because this is Kop of the Morning, episode 6. And we've had the rolling sub, actually. He's finally appeared. It's like a wild Pokemon. Marty Sakura. How are we, lads?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. I'm good. It's Christmas wind down. I've actually got some time back to myself now, so it's nice. It's nice to be on. It's nice to be on. And I got
You're back on when the shit's hit the fan.
No, I know. You can't say I only come on when we're winning. Nah.
Unlike some on this fucking channel. Do you know what I mean? One in particular, Mr. Beck.
But no, I'm all good, mate. I'm all good. I'm looking forward to looking forward to jumping into this. It's gonna be. We basically started debating off the pod, didn't we? We thought we better go over.
This is it. We had no fucking show for the people. Millie, how are we? I know you're feeling emotional, and people are going to feel it today.
Yeah.
But this is it. This is the morning show, and we've had some cracking shows on this. You know, you've stuck with me the whole way through. Unfortunately, Ross is not with us today. He's busy. You know, he can't be asked to talk to me anymore anyway. The prick.
No.
Yeah, horrible him. But I mean, this could be our biggest show for the morning one. It involves the biggest profile in the Liverpool squad, Millie. And do you know what I thought? We've had a few days to go through it all. You've not had your say on this, like Marty, as well on here. I've spoken non-stop about it. I actually think I think I have an idea of what's gone on, personally, and what I think will happen. But you need to have your say. But how are you before we go into it?
I'm all good. If we ignore the fact that the football club is burning down in front of our eyes and we can't do anything to stop it, I'm good. I'm all right. I mean, I have said my piece. Don't get me wrong. I said my piece when it all dropped online and it went a bit mad. But look, what can I say? I'm an empath, all right? I feel bad for him.
Yeah, look, if you just joined us, smash a like, subscribe. If you've got any questions for us, what's going on? Exactly, Mick. Exactly.
Okay, moan when I'm not on. You moan when I am on. Talk about no win. Fuck off, Rick. Yeah. Like, you can fuck off. Bold people are not fucking in my good book, so piss off.
Yeah, valid.
This is it. Baldy's hiding out the way like the manager.
Wade giving it. Fuck off.
Look, smash the like, subscribe. You just join us. If you got any questions, this show is about as Mohamed Salah played his last game for Liverpool. We're going to try and dissect it. I've got these two cracking people with me today. They haven't had the say in it yet. So before we do, Marty, I'm going to go to you first because I'm going to let Millie go on a big rant for us, or emotional rant after yours. Because, Mark, we've spoken about it privately. I probably spoke to you more than I spoke to Millie because, you know, we have a group chat. But where are you at with it, lads? I think there's a lot that's been said. Maybe a bit took out of hand as well. The fan base is divided. This is the big problem, mate. When you bring Mohamed Salah's name up, it causes a bit of a split, doesn't it?
Yeah. Well, I'll try not to waffle on this because it's a big subject, but
go for it.
It's one of the. I think for me the frustrating bit is people are struggling to compartmentalize it all. You know, it's turned into a slot versus Salah thing, and I know that's kind of dynamic that he's potentially set, but. You know, for me, it's all different. It's all different scenarios. How in Slot's position is different to what Salah's done. You know, just because Salah's done this, it shouldn't really affect whether Slot should be in a job or not. Look, I mean, I'll go into the content of what he said, but you know, bottom line is, I think at this point, most people are in agreement that the way he's done it is not great. It's not what we're looking for from a post. What the club's not looking for it from an employee. It's not what you should be doing. You know, airing your dirty laundry in public is never a good idea. No matter what walk of life you're in. So, unfortunately, that's kind of skewed some of the content that he's put in his message. I think obviously some of it's quite cryptic. Some of it we probably won't be aware of what he's alluding to. You know, he's obviously spoken about being thrown under the bus. We don't know what that means. We can speculate. Obviously, it does seem to me like it'd probably be related to playing minutes and new signings not taking his position, stuff like that. But obviously, we don't know. Yeah, but bottom line is, I think it's just a massive exclamation mark on what's been an absolute fucking tragic start to the season. And it's just the last thing Liverpool needed was Salah to come out and do this. I think, you know, with what he's getting at, I do think some of the stuff he said, he's got a point. I don't necessarily believe he's a scapegoat, but I do understand, you know, obviously Slot's persevered with keeping him out of the side. Again, I don't think he could argue in the mirror and be honest with himself. He's not performed. And again, nor's Gakpo, nor's Canate, nor is McAllister. So, I do get his argument as to why is it me that keeps getting pulled out and others get persevered with. But, I think sometimes you've got to listen to the people that are in and have been in the positions as opposed to fans, because fans are emotional. And you listen to, what is it now? Obviously, Clarence Shadorf, Stevie, Sturridge, Henri, I'll leave Carragher. I know he's a bit of a polarizing figure at the moment, Carragher. But they've all said the way he's done it is wrong, and he should probably apologise, and he will be regretting that. So
he's doing it as a nice manner as well. Then I know Carragher's been emotional, Matt, but I think Stevie stepped up to try and sort this out, because I think Stevie knows this is going to either fucking pop or just fucking.
He's done it. He's been there before, and he was Suarez. He said
he brought this up in every conversation, hasn't he?
Yeah, he spoke about it, and the problem is I think the reason that, and I know we'll go into a little bit more about if and how this gets resolved, but the reason I think it'll be difficult is I think you've got two massively stubborn people. Arne Slot is stubborn, Mo Salah fucking stubborn. It does seem from the outside that I know he spoke about Virgil getting involved as the captain. It seems like the players are a little bit hands off, don't really know how to deal with it. So for me, I struggle to see kind of if it gets that Suarez resolution. And I think the difference being when it happened with Suarez was in his peak. He was by far and away Liverpool's best player. And obviously, there's an argument that Salah is for Liverpool, albeit this season might be a different discussion. But there was a difference in the fact that Liverpool wanted Suarez to stay. They wanted him there. They needed him there. Whereas obviously with Salah, we're not sure whether Liverpool are trying to angle it to move Salah on. So the dynamic's different. So it's just a mess. It's a real mess. Like I said, I don't have a side in this fight. My side is Liverpool Football Club. I've said it on socials as well. I'm not Team Salah. I'm not Team Slot. I'm Liverpool. It's, when we played on Tuesday night, all I cared about for 90 minutes was Liverpool, their performance, the fact that we won. But the fact we get to the end of the football match and straight away we can't talk about good away when it's about Salah just shows just how much of a problem it is. But I know we'll go into a bit more of the
this question, Mike's question, top lad Mike. I was on there Anfield Index with him. It was a fucking funny show, to be fair. He was bouncing around in his fucking kitchen or something. But do you think this question is better to go at the end, just the end of the show?
Midway through.
I think so. I think it's kind of
because that's like the kind of you get what I mean. What happens at the end, isn't it? So, Mike, remind me, lad. I'm going to favourite that. I'll come back to it, lad. I will. Look, shout out to everyone in the comments. It is Tatty, lad. It's a right fella. That is a very good question, what Mike said, but I think we'll come back to that. Millie, he's everyone's hero, but does I'm sure we can all agree. Some things do come to an end. And I personally think it's something Mo will struggle with and is struggling with, that the Premier League may have got caught up to him. But where are you at with it? I know you want to have your good say on it, and I can't wait to hear. It is a difficult one. Whatever we say on it, there's always going to be people that aren't happy.
This is the thing. I mean, I know that I come from a much more sympathetic background than a lot of other people. I can see both sides of it. And I said from the beginning, do I think he should have come out publicly and said this? Obviously not, because we're already in the shit and we didn't need to add more fuel to an already burning fire. But in the same breath, I can understand where his frustrations are coming from. He's a professional footballer who's been at the top of his game. He's just had the season of his life where we've won the Premier League, which we would not have done had he have not been in the squad. And now, yes, his form's not been great, but that's almost been an entirely team-wide issue. No one's really been at their best bar Dominic Szoboszlai from last year's team. So I think for him, I can see you're looking at that. It's almost like you're at work and you've got 10 other colleagues and all of them are shit. And then you're the only one that's not getting any praise, and the rest of them are all getting praise and getting to do more stuff at work and getting the opportunity to be promoted or go here or go there. And you're sitting there thinking, well, why the fuck am I not? And so I think on a human level, I think we forget sometimes that, yes, they're professional footballers and they do have a duty to conduct themselves professionally, but they are humans at the end of the day. I think he struggled with everything with Jota. Obviously, we were talking earlier about the fact that he said he didn't want to come back to Liverpool. It didn't feel the same and things like that. So I think that's caught up with him as well. And I look at it on a more like, yes, in the football world, what he did was terrible. He shouldn't have done it. But human-wise, like, you add it all up, you can see why he's crashed out. Look, we've all crashed out from time to time. It's just not all of us do it, and it gets millions and millions of views.
It's not always on the telly. Do you know what I mean?
No, exactly.
It's one of them, isn't it? For me, I've given my points on it, and I'm not going to speak much on it. I personally think there's nothing more to it apart from he also can't accept that he's not going to play. And I'd said recently, I'll be honest, I've spoken to you both, and I've thought he may be instigating the move. And that's off the back. It's fried tuck on yet. Look, shout out to Eva who's just become a member. Appreciated, lad. But look, you two, I don't know whether you agree with me, and I don't know whether the people do in the comments. I personally believe, right, Mo Salah has instigated the move a bit. No, I'm not trying to be a smart ass, and I'm going to say that. But I think this season's it's messed with his head. I think the summer, the Jota thing is massively messed with his head. We've seen Mo Salah standing in front of fucking fans crying. When have you ever seen that? You've never seen it. I think the season as a whole is really fucking hurt him. And I just think with the fact that the manager, we brought in new players, the mantelpiece kind of come off Salah as that we're going to go a new route. That's probably hard for him to accept because he knows the profile he is at Liverpool. He wants to be the main man. And I think the way Liverpool need to go is Salah isn't the main man anymore. And like when I watch Liverpool with Salah, now we look like we force it too much to give him the ball. And it's just not working. So I don't blame the manager for having to take him out of the side. And I just think personally, with this coming out of the side situation, I think that's what's ticked him over the edge. And I do think it is premeditated personally. I think him and his agents have probably said, look, this may be the chance to go now. And I think he's trying to push for it. But I think he may be using the manager as not putting them in the side as a bit of a blame to Liverpool. Do you know what I mean? To try and make it look like he doesn't want to go. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
Everyone's got their own assumptions on it. One thing's for sure is, look, when Mo goes in the press, he goes in the press because he needs something to benefit him. And I think he is looking for a move out. I think he needs a fresh start. And there's nothing wrong with saying that. And that's something we'll come on to with the question from Mike. And I think Mo Salah, you've seen him when he's away. He looks a lot better when he's not around Liverpool. I just don't think it's where. I think he's known what's going to come of this. And I think when he fucking stood in front of the fans, like, let's be honest, right? Did any of you see him warming up at Leeds? Because I can't remember it. He had a big fucking massive coat on. It looked like there was no intentions of playing that game. He then goes straight to the fans. And I think as soon as he's gone straight to them fans, for me, it's like, this is my final farewell. Because as soon as he walks down that tunnel, you're not seeing him play for Liverpool again. Let's be honest, you can't. Liverpool cannot bow down to any fucking player, Mark, can they?
No. I mean, I was at that game. I was at the Bournemouth game. Obviously, I was with Ross at that one with Mo. And, it was something that you knew in the moment you'll never see anything or experience anything like that again. And you weren't sure what to expect from that. It was very strange going home after that moment. It was like, where does, because he was like a thing possessed that night when he was playing against Bournemouth. I remember he was fucking relentless, wasn't he? I am scoring a goal tonight. Like he was going to score and he was going to the Kop and he was going to do a celebration for Jota. Like it was in. I think if there's one player, and I'm not point scoring here, but I think if there is one player that does seem to have really been hurt by the Jota stuff, it's Salah.
Yeah.
Marty's froze.
He's been struck down by Slot as well.
Yeah, that's it. He's been fucking. Liverpool have had enough of him and they've just paused him.
Like, we realise why he wasn't on now, so we'll just kick him off.
Fuck it. I'll take him off for a minute and I'll just let him reset. Mart, if you can hear me backstage, blah, blah, blah. Millie, I'll come over to you for a minute because Mart still throws from off, I can see him. But carry on from Marty then because I've just forgot because he's just put me right off.
Yeah, what did he just say?
I know.
I was listening, I promise. I do think that Salah is definitely the player that's been most affected by this. You can see it in his face. You can see it in his face when he came back. The first game of the season, obviously, I was there as well. And it was a very emotionally charged game anyway. Obviously, we had the tributes and things like that. And I just think it's been an accumulation of things. And I think I cannot sit here and say that I didn't want Salah to be dropped, because I did, because I thought, you know what, you're not.
We said it
performing.
on
We've
here
all said
together,
it.
Millie.
Yeah,
we can't fucking lie, can we?
We've all said it. But do I think he needed to be dropped 3 games in a row? No. And I think had he have not gone to the press after the Leeds game, I think he probably would have played at the Inter Milan game at the San Siro on Tuesday. I think he would have started. But my head was hot after that Leeds game. Do you know what I mean? So I can imagine
just
that.
a quick question to you then. Do you know, during that Leeds game, with the way the game was going, did you see there was a time for him to come in? Because I think the manager had a difficult job trying to get him in.
Yeah, definitely, because we were 2-0 up. And then obviously before we knew it, it was 2-2. And then there was about 3
you're
or 4
chasing a game
minutes.
when it goes to 2-2, or you're 2-1 and you're trying to keep it secure. Mo Salah's not the player to bring on right now.
No, of course not. But I think it's such a difficult thing. Obviously, I'm not the manager. Do you know what I mean? And unfortunately, for someone like me who is Slot out, this has only strengthened Slot's position, because the club aren't going to sack him now. Because, oh my God, we just lost you for a minute there. I was about to say I'm going to be doing this solo.
No. I was fucking reading, so I may have just froze out of nowhere.
I was like, oh my God, I'm going to have to manage the whole
this
thing
fucking
myself.
season's fucking us all.
No, I think it strengthens Slot's position, and the club aren't going to sack him off the back of this, are they? Because then it makes them look weak. But it's just difficult, because obviously we all have so much love for Mo. Of course we do. He's given us some of the best moments. And see this comment about being 2-2, you bring him on. There was about 3 minutes between it being 2-2 and 3-2. So at what point do you bring him on in that 3 minutes? That's a quick moment in time to make a decision like that. It's all a big mess, and I just wish everyone would be friends again, and we could be family FC, and we can all get along and hold hands and sing Kumbaya.
Fucking hell! Well, there you go. That's it. Show's done. There's your.
I figured it all out, guys. Don't worry, we're just gonna do that.
That's it. Mo Salah's sound now. He's just there, Danny. For fuck it, we're sound. Shout out to Nick's, but shout out to everyone in the comments. If you just joined us, smash like, subscribe. If there's any question, this is just a Salah topic, and I want to get Marty was here. He froze and fucked off.
He's not asked.
See, this is a 2-0 till you bring him on. I don't know if I would. Bearing them up, this is not to say I wouldn't be. I'm not just bringing them on for the sake of it, but I think Liverpool have struggled. There he is. Fucking hell. There's a rolling sub. I think Liverpool have really suffered holding on to leads.
Yeah.
I know they're playing Leeds and that hold on to a lead in a game.
Well, how many times have we been 2-0 up and we've gone to 2-2 over the course of this season?
Fucking done it at Newcastle.
Bournemouth. Yeah, like it's happened time and time again. And that's because it's because of one man mainly, but let me not talk on him, because that penalty.
Yeah, well, this is it, and this is why I want to speak to you about it, because look, I understand Mo Salah will be frustrated at certain. I think he's looked at the likes of Gakpo and thought, "How the fuck's that clown still playing?" And
you would,
right? Mart, Chiesa's just, I'm a big fan of Chiesa, right?
I love him.
The manager's not going to start him, Matt. He's just not. Let's cut the bollocks. He's not. So if people are thinking Gakpo's coming out for Chiesa, it's not going to happen, is it?
No. We've had this conversation many times about Chiesa. For whatever reason, right? He doesn't fancy him, even as a sub. It literally only comes on when it's desperate times. He doesn't fancy him in any capacity. So, but for me, I'm looking at it going, they've spent £300 million on Ekitike Isak. But is there a plan? Because I'm sorry, I'm not buying that they're going to rotate Ekitike and Isak. They're neither.
No, I'm
not buying that. So I'm looking at that going, the obvious one for me is you play Ekitike off the left, or you play Wirtz off the left. There's 2 options there. Or you go narrow and have a front 2 with Wirtz and behind. Like, you can see options, but for whatever reason, he perseveres with Gakpo.
That's where it falls down a bit of the argument to back Slot's decisions at times, isn't it?
Yeah, this is why I get lost with this Salah stuff. Is if you disagree with Salah doing what he's done, it's not because you agree with Arne Slot. Like, let me get that completely straight, because I don't. Slot has done my head in all season with his team selections and his use and non-use of players. And Salah's points, a lot of his points were true. But how he did it is what my issue is. But Gakpo, but that's that's a club problem. If you can't take players out of the team because they're playing absolutely shite, and you've spent 500 million quid in the summer, then you need to be looking at the people above and going, well, how have you left that? How are we in that situation? The Gakpo one, there is solutions. He just fucking loves Gakpo. But
God
Canate,
knows what he's got on him.
yeah, I don't know, fucking. But,
we'll go to details.
yeah, fucking some sort of naked photo. But Canate and Maka, Maka has to play a lot more because he's got to play Szoboszlai at right back because we've got two fucking crabs at right back that can't keep fit. It's just like, and this is what I mean about the whole thing just being a mess. It's not a one versus the other. It's all linked and it's all a big mess.
Yeah, no, I agree. Millie, the thing, Canate's been on the tongues of people, the fucking, as in coming out the side and shit like last night. But the facts are, Millie, right, as of right now, that's no argument for Salah's side because who the fuck are we going to play at centre-half then? Do you know what I mean? He's had to play. Do you know what I mean? He's had to play. And I just think, when you look at our squad, to balance our squad out, if you were taking Mo out, I think it's set up better because you can use Szoboszlai on that right-hand side. Liverpool have been pressing a bit better and they haven't conceded. So, for me, they've been able to keep the midfield shape, haven't they? By adding another midfielder in. And there's no coincidence that they've probably been a bit better at not conceding fucking chances, Liverpool. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. I think, like you said, with the issue with Canate is, who the fuck else do you put there? Do you know what I mean? Like, had Leone not had that injury against Southampton, I genuinely do believe he would have been in that place and Canate might have been benched a bit more often and we might not have all been as stressed out as we are because it just seems like for him, he can't just have a small error. He has to have an error that then affects the entire game and then we go on and lose or draw. Like, it's never a small thing. Do you know what I mean? And so it's just frustrating. I mean, don't get me wrong. We haven't lost a game since we haven't played Salah. But for me, none of the games were like real convincing, like wins where we can sit there and say, do you know what? We outplayed them. We were fantastic. I mean, when you look at it on the balance, West Ham, who are West Ham, let's just say that. And then we drew to Sunderland. They are. They are. We should be comfortably beating them 4-5-0. Then we've drew with Sunderland and we've drew with Leeds. When Leeds, we were controlling the game. And then one small error just shifts the momentum completely. And we are where we are. And then obviously any away win at the San Siro is fantastic. Do you know what I mean? That's a great Champions League win. But I'm not going to sit here and say we looked fantastic and it was a really exciting game because it wasn't. It really wasn't.
Do you know what? Right now, look, shout out to Sajid and also Dicko. Sorry to hear you got beat, lads. Let's have it with the captain on final on Wednesday. Hopefully you start smashing it, lad. I'm sure you will. Again, cheers for the comments. And Saj is obviously, he's had a lot of say on Salah. What a fucking madness this season's been, man. People doing content like we do on here. Everyone's heads are fucking fried. Do you know what? We can't just have a normal fucking season, can we?
I need a break. Why is there no international break now? We had about 3 international breaks in the first few weeks, and now there's none till March. I need one now.
Fucking everyone's fucked. We're fucked. Season's not even halfway through yet. Know what I mean? Like, fucking hell. But like, Sads, appreciate you coming in and, shout out to Born and Reds, great lads over there. I watch the content. I'm sure a lot of people do as well. They're growing massive now. And fair play to the lads, put a lot of graft in. And a good mates of mine. But like, with the Salah situation, Matt, with him coming out the side, it was good to see Gakpo hasn't been took out the side. He's obviously got a knock. But I think what we've seen in the last fucking few games, Matt, is slight progression. Liverpool aren't conceding as many chances. And I think this team needs to be focused around where Ekitike and Isak. And for me, as much as I love Mo Salah, and we'll get into how we think it's going to finish with regards to the club and him, whether someone apologises or part ways. For me, this team, lads, right now, if Liverpool are to find good form, I personally don't see Gakpo or Salah in the team because I'd be playing the diamond with weights behind Ekitike and Isak. Because in order for me, Matt, I think to get the best out of Florian Wirtz, because he's starting to shine now. You see the quality of him, lads. He looks fucking amazing. But he needs to be left to go and do damage where he sees fit. And I don't think we're going to do well if there's only 2 around him. I think the best midfield for us right now as a 4 diamond is Wirtz at the top of it. Gakpo, fucking hell, he's fucked me head in. Gravenberch at the bottom with Jones and Szoboszlai. Because I think them 2 midfielders, Jones and Szoboszlai, that's starting Liverpool going again then. Them 2 have been brilliant lately.
Yeah. The problem is people aren't going to like it, but I think people are going to starting to understand it. That game on Tuesday is where the Premier League is going, and it's why Arsenal are so efficient, and it's why City still look good but ropey as well. Is because it's moving into that era again of big, dominant players, set pieces, and winning games in moments, but being controlled and solid. Arsenal, and I genuinely mean this respectfully, take their fucking helmet fan base away from it. They are efficient, but they're boring. Arsenal, like I'll watch an Arsenal game, so I watch most of the football, but they're boring in a similar way that Man City, when they were dominant, they were boring, but they're efficient and they're ruthless. And you've got to build it now on a stable defense. The problem with Liverpool is I think they can only do one or the other. I think they can either set us up attacking, but we're so open at the back that you get the Leeds result, or we can only set us up defensively. And I think the two best examples of that were Arsenal and Milan, where we had a moment, albeit it should have been the corner, got disallowed, and we got the soft penalty, and then obviously the free kick against Arsenal. But I think that will get you more results, and it sucks. And we're used to Jurgen Klopp, high intensity football, high pressing, attacking. But either way, you need 11 players on the pitch. Salah last season got away with it because his attacking output was so elite, and the team was so gelled that it worked. Now there's a lot of change, and unfortunately for Salah, and this is a Slot's doing as well because he gave him this instruction, he doesn't have to get back, and that hurts us. And Gakpo's doing the same, but he's getting away with it. Salah gets highlighted because he doesn't get back as much. Liverpool had to make that change, and it should have been both flanks. It shouldn't have taken Cody Gakpo to get injured, but Liverpool have got to get more control on the pitch, and they've got to have more. They've got to have all of their players getting back. And if you listen to the Klopp interview that he did with Stephen Bartlett, he said all of his players have the minimum you have to do is run. You have to run and you have to work. Salah's not doing that, and Gakpo's not doing that, and it's why Liverpool has suffered, and it's why Liverpool looked solid, not exciting, but solid in the Milan game. I think you're on mute, Ben.
Yeah, Ben's on mute.
Sorry, I've been coughing and shit. I've had a fucking chest infection, but look, I think it's the most I've seen us look at a more functioning team, Millie, the other night. And look, we go back to Salah, because as I say, when will Humpty Dumpty get sacked? I just want to say on this situation with regards to Slot, Salah's fucking blew the graft up, because now the club cannot sack Arne Slot off the back of this, because it looks like power to the the players. And if Liverpool are seen doing that, it fucks things up for God knows how long. But with regards to, Mo Salah, he just can't accept not playing, Millie. Do you know what I mean? He literally can't. I understand his frustrations, I really do. But let's be honest, we've all been calling for him to come out the side. And we've said it for a few other players. But I think now, look, regardless if I believe the manager's the right person or not, I'm just a fan like everyone else. I don't think he's the right man for the job. However, he started playing the players that I think get us out of the shit. Because I think going on to Saturday, I think Liverpool are going to start with them three, where it's behind Ekitike and Isak. There's no complaints then from the fan base. I think where the complaints have been is the fucking Gakpo still featuring in games and shit like that. But how do you think? Because I personally don't believe, Mo Salah thinks the club have turned on him. You know what I mean? And I get it. He may feel like that. I think he's going for the move himself, personally, like I said in the show. But if the club are expecting him to say sorry, he's not going to do that, Millie.
No. And I think this is the kind of yin and yang of it. You've got to balance it, because you do want players with that ego and that belief in themselves, and I'm the best on this pitch and no one else can tell me otherwise. You do want that, but then sometimes it flips on its head and we end up in a situation where we are now, where it's like, no, I am the best, and why are you not playing me? And so it's kind of like, it's give and take, isn't it? I do think Saturday will be the real big test, because I don't really feel like the Champions League, it's the Premier League that I want to see us perform in at the moment, because obviously that's where our form's been nothing short of piss poor, to be honest. Yeah. And I think that Lot's position has been strengthened because, like we say, he's not going to sack him now, are they? Because it makes them look weak and it makes them look like they've gone, oh, almighty Mo Salah, you said you don't want him here no more. We'll get him out the door for you.
We'll fuck him off for you, yeah.
But it shouldn't be taking a manager this far into the season to realise how to play his players, if you ask me. I feel like everyone's been calling for him to play the players like this. And yes, there's been injuries and, things that affect that. But it shouldn't take Gakpo being injured for you to take him out of the squad. I watch him week in, week out. I'm not a manager. I'm not a tactician. And even I can see that he shouldn't be featuring in the starting 11 week in, week out because he hasn't got that. He's a great to bring on as a sub. And, when we need something, fantastic. But time will tell. I'm just exhausted. I am exhausted. Why can we not just have... I wouldn't even care if we finished like second and third and we just had an easy season. If that was it, like I just want to coast for a little bit, please. This is
fucking no such thing as it fucking going to be easy.
It's awful. Like everything just comes crashing down all at once, and I'm like, I feel like I'm being pulled from side to side as well because obviously the club comes first. Everyone knows that, but then also as the resident empath of the stream, I can also feel that frustration and that upset and the difficult things that Salah's gone through in the last 6 months. So I kind of, I see it all. I hope he's not leaving, but I think he is. And I'd like to be able to, even if we just give him like a 10-minute cameo on Saturday so we can say goodbye. Like, I can't bear the thought of Trent Alexander-Arnold having a better goodbye than Mo Salah. That's the little bit inside
me.
What,
though, Mil? Well. You know what? Trent's got his goodbye because it was at the end of the season. We won the league.
Yeah.
It only came out when we won the league. I just want to go back to Saj's, shout out to Saj again. Great comment, this one. Mars, I want this to you because I wanted this question to you in the reason front, right, before, many a times. And Saj is saying, I agree, but the madness is Salah would probably fit better up front with Ekatike and Wirtz in the time. And Isak is still off it, and he's huffing and puffing after 30 minutes. Does this work? Now, what's your take on this? I know you've been vocal to me about potentially Salah over the years playing up front. His pace has gone off a bit, Mart, hasn't he?
Yeah. It depends what Salah you get, because if you're working as a 2, you can't be selfish. That's my only concern. You would obviously probably use Salah as the one, obviously coming a bit deeper, picking the ball up, in creating for Ekatike. But my only concern is, obviously, him and Gakpo are both playing with a 9 this season, and they don't seem to be able to play with a 9. I mean, it would certainly be something that you'd want to give a go before you did wave him off. It'd be a mistake not to, but that's true.
I'm laughing because I said the same fucking thing.
Yeah, that's very true. But the thing is, I don't know. I just, you're not going to get them trying to shoehorn him in that position over your
not now
striker. It's just he's not his best position, is it? It would be shoehorning, and he probably would do better than he's doing on the right now. But the problem I think he's struggling on the right is because he's playing with a 9 and not a false 9 that he's used to. So he's now being asked to be a provider, and it's just I just keep using the word mess. And that's just how it feels. Everything feels like a mess. Like everything, you have a discussion, you try and come to a conclusion about it, and then you just come to the same conclusion that it's all a big fucking mess and nothing actually makes any sense. No matter how much you try and figure out a solution, it just feels like the players we got don't gel. The system that we're trying to play doesn't work for the players that we have got. And now our best players calling a manager a fucking bold knob. So I don't know. Genuinely, I want to be diplomatic. But
the fucking walls are caving in.
Yeah, no, I'm done. I don't know is the answer. I don't know.
The walls are fucking... Oh, lad, we are fucked. Shut the doors. Cancel podcast. We're fucked. We're having a year off.
Long answer, but to Saj's comment, mate, I ain't got a fucking clue anymore if he was working in front too.
Honestly,
probably, but who knows?
I just want to say, fucking, Ethan's comments here before, is Frimpong back? Is he back, Frimpong? Frimpong back for Saturday? I couldn't even tell you, lad. I couldn't even tell you who's available anymore. I don't care. I fucking... Oh, my head
is Frimpong.
Who the fuck is he? All I've seen is a TikToker. You know what I mean, lad? That fucking... Mate, honest to God, this season, lad, we're all going to be grey hairs. Millie, you're going to have grey hairs as well, fucking off this team.
No, don't worry, guys. Mine's all extensions, so it can't go grey. It's not even my hair.
I've already got grey hairs. I'm already there.
My fucking beard's been going ginger and shit, lad. What the fuck is going on? What the fuck? We're all fucked here, Liverpool. Lad, we're all going to fucking die 20 years early because this team club are going to fuck us. Do you know what I mean?
I thought I was going to die early at the end of the season from all the last minute goals, and now it's just because everything's fucking terrible all the time.
Do you know what? I was talking to someone yesterday, and I was like, because I haven't been back for a few weeks because I've had an issue with my skin. But I thought, mate, I felt nearly fucking broke my ankle falling down the stairs in fucking St. James's Park because fucking Rio scored the winner. And I'm thinking, from then to now, I'm like, what has gone on? Do you know what I mean? It's like we're watching fucking Szoboszlai scoring free kicks against Arsenal and thinking we're just going to win everything. But now
Take me back. Take me back.
Yeah, exactly. Look, but smash the like, subscribe if you've just joined us. And also, I just want to say to the people, I'm going to reach out to them if I get a chance today. So anyone that's joined us as a member, send me a message on Twitter and I'll get you into the WhatsApp
group chat.
Yeah, you're going to create a new Red or Alive TV WhatsApp group, and it will any little info we hear as a channel or team news, we'll put it in there. So anyone who's joined us as a member, get in touch with me and I'll sort that out. This one, playing devil's advocate. Slot's playing Isak because he's not up to speed, and now Slot's playing Isak because he's not up to speed and out of form, but then benches Salah for being out of form. Millie, what do you make of this?
Half the squad are out of form, but 3/4 of the squad are out of form, to be honest. I mean, if we played all our in-form players, there'd be about 3 people on the pitch, and then we get absolutely fucking hammered as well anyway. So, I think that this team, for me, everyone knows I'm Slot out, but I think it's crying out for fresh eyes because I feel like Slot's just running out of ideas of how he can try and put 11 players on the pitch that work together and gel together and have some sort of chemistry and can put a pass together, and it's just not working.
This should technically be his last strike, really, going with the Isak Ekitike works together. He should be allowed to at least try it.
Of course, and had Salah not come out and said those things, I think he probably wouldn't have been given that last strike. But this is it. This is now or never, because if we just continue to fuck about consistently for the rest of the season, we're not even going to get European football next year. Next season? Do you know what I mean? We're going to be completely out of it at this rate. So I think, what are we going to do? Well, he's in a difficult position. He's just basically throwing shit at a wall and seeing what sticks, to be honest, I think is his approach at the moment. And you know what? This might be the key, and he might unlock this super team that we've been waiting to see. But I don't have much hope that it will be under Slot. No, he got better when he got it, all right? And then just now it's kind of done the reverse.
Well, yeah, it's caught up to him. Martin,
we
you want to say on this?
We were all talking about hair transplant Salah last season and saying that was the key to his performance. So we can't go back on it now.
He was unbelievable last year, Mo, isn't he? And, this is what I'm saying. I'm going through some of these comments with this because the model of the show is just, has he played his last game for Liverpool? And that's the next segment. But before I go to that, Mart, is there anything you want to mention on this, lad?
Yeah, I like this comment. I think because it kind of sums Slot up a little bit, is I think he's just contradicted his team selections like constantly. And if you're going to pull Salah out and make an example of Salah, you've got to do it to Cody Gakpo because they both have the same problem. They both are not working to the number 9 strengths. They're both predictable on the ball, and neither of them are working back. And I just think that comment there is just exactly that. And it just I've said it for a long time. I think kind of going away from the point a little bit. I have to think that Slot's abandoned the philosophy that got him the Liverpool job. I think he is trying to be too.
No one knows what flop ball is anymore, or nothing, do they?
Because I don't think he's got a philosophy. I think he's trying to react game by game.
Identity, innit?
Yeah, well, he's trying to react game by game. I know at times under Klopp, it used to be you could literally name the 11, couldn't you? Week in, week out. But his philosophy was always going to be: this is how my team plays. You figure it out. And 99.9% of the time, it overwhelmed the other team, and you make them react to you. I feel like Slot reacts to the team before he put his team out, and it ends up just how can you build? Yeah, and how can you build relationships? How can you build fucking passing patterns on the pitch? How can you build overlaps? How can you build anything if you're constantly chopping and changing it depending on what team the other team are putting out? He should be. Of course you make tweaks, of course you do, but it should be that tweaks. Like, we have a good game. We played the West Ham game. We were like, great, that's great. We then play against Sunderland. Fucking Cody Gakpo's at left back. I know they were playing a back 3, but use Gakpo and I think it was Dom. Get forward and force their wing backs back. Don't sit off them and let their wing backs come forward.
Genuinely has made some very questionable choices, lads, hasn't he? I don't think he's good enough to be Liverpool manager, lads. And
I think he's gone too clever. He's trying to be too clever. He's trying
smart
to be yeah, just what we were told by Feyenoord fans when he got announced. He plays really similar to Klopp. He plays really high attacking football. He presses from the front, scores loads of goals. But that's
fucking where?
Where's that gone? Because I think he's fucked it off.
The biggest problem I think that Slot does is his teams now go out there. They could fucking push the fucking team back. Then we let them reset, and it's like, what's the point of that? Do you know what I mean? It's like there's no like fucking willingness to go and get the ball back as quick. We're very laboured, and in teams now just watch us, give us the ball, and they're like try and break us down now. Try and get out of our back line. Liverpool can't even get past the halfway line at times with the ball. They're fucking terrible at trying to find the gaps. Millie, so I just want to go for these comments. Slot's dodgy this season because he can't decide if he should get a transplant now. Maybe. LFC Mav is saying, agreed. Success is built on consistency. Not keep changing because you're not getting it right. I agree. But look, the final part of this show is as Mo played his last game for Liverpool. And it's a sad reality of what I think's going to happen. I'll be honest. I'll give you my little take on it. I think Mo is pushing for the move himself, and I think him at Leeds is his way to say bye to the fans, waving, all that stuff. Because as soon as he's done that, straight down to the mix zone, he knows he's probably not going to get a game again. And as I say, it's come to the hill whereby AFCON's rare. So I think wouldn't shock me just after the Brighton game. There's a video coming out of Mo Salah saying he's going. It would not surprise me. Because obviously, let's be honest, a percentage in this chat and obviously between you two here, where are you at with regards to he's played his last game? For me, I'm like 100% he's not going to play again. I can't see it because I think him himself is also his ego. He's not going to back down from what he's done. He's also with his age as well. He doesn't want to accept that fucking he's finished and that he's going to be a bit part player. He is not going to do that, in my opinion. I hope he does. And he accepts it. I can't see him doing it. I think there's been too many days now since this incident's happened. And I think if he was going to apologise, he probably would have done it by now. I think he's played his last game for Liverpool. And that's why I want to find out whether you two think that. And I'm going to bring Mike's comments up before we wrap up the show, because I think how does it make it a better ending if he is to have played his last game? Millie, where are you at?
Do I think he's played his last game? Potentially, yes. Do I want him to have played his last game? No. But I completely agree. I don't see him apologising. I don't see him publicly apologising. Not in a million years. That's just not going to happen. Do I see that there could be discussions behind the scenes, maybe, that could lead to some sort of solution? Maybe. But I feel like the problem is you've got two very stubborn characters. We can see it from how Mo is and how he presented himself at the weekend, but also from Slot and how dead set he is on bloody keeping Cody Gakpo in this team. They're clearly both two stubborn people, and two stubborn people butting heads is never going to end well. For me, it's more like the sentimental part of it as well. Like, I don't want to see him go off the back of this. Like, it doesn't feel right for someone that's given us so much. But then at the same breath, it's of his own doing, because he came out in the media and he said what he said, and he did that publicly. And, do I hope that they resolve it and everyone's friends again? Yes, absolutely. Do I think maybe subbing him on for half the game at Brighton and then letting him say his goodbye at Anfield? Because I don't see him not getting a goodbye at Anfield, is my big thing as well. It's like, you've said goodbye to the away fans, but that's a very small portion of the people that have pumped hundreds and hundreds of thousands of pounds into this club for the last 8-9 years he's been here to watch him play. I think he gets the chance to say goodbye at Anfield, so I'm not ready to say that it's 100% no more.
It's going to be really interesting to see what happens. I hope it's not the end, but I also know that Mo won't. He won't accept. For me, he won't accept it being a squad player. Because that's basically what it is, isn't it? He wants to be a starting first teamer. I think it's potentially caught up to him with regards to the Premier League.
The thing is, we've all gone over this. He wasn't wrong in what he said. He's wrong in how he went about it. That's the issue.
Exactly. The thing is, though, and this is where he's saying false promises, blah blah blah, and someone wants him gone. Maybe there is people in the club who want him gone. I don't think they mean it viciously. Personally, I think it might just be like with the way the season's gone, they may be looking at the data mart and saying, we can't see Mo turning this round. Maybe now we cash in. And the fact is, they've probably seen that eventually the manager's going to have to take him out the side. And they've probably thought, fuck, that's when the issues are going to start arising. Maybe the club are looking at it going, do you know what? January is when we sort this shit out. The manager goes, but we're going to have to get Mo out as well. And the reason being is they can't have a new manager come in, Matt, and this shit carry on, can they?
No. The problem is, I think there's a lot of moving parts in the saga. I think that's the problem, is people kind of looking for a quick resolution. I don't think there is a resolution, because I think the only resolution, if you live in dream world, is Salah comes out and apologises for going public, and Arne Slot promises him that he can be back in the team on a first team basis. It's not happening. The whole reason he's blown up is because he's not playing. That's not going to change. So listen, he might come out and apologise, so to the point where we can wave him goodbye. I would be astounded if Salah plays for Liverpool again. And you know, it's so sad that it's come to this, but you know, the reason he's elite is because of this mentality that he's got, and he does stuff at times that you don't agree with. But if he wasn't like this, he wouldn't be the player that he's been for us. So it's one of those really difficult catch-22s. But listen, I hope, but you know, I think it would take, like I said, an apology and Salah to accept that he's going to have to be a squad player. Mo Salah doesn't see himself as a squad player for anyone. I think that's the mentality of the guy. But I mean, with regards to how the club are looking at it, I think the big glaring issue is that he can't get back anymore. And I think the club are looking at it going, we can't carry a player, you know, that will only run one way. And it's multiple meetings about this between the manager and the hierarchy. And they probably said to them that he can't undo Father Time. You know,
this comment is this is what I mean.
Exactly. You know, they didn't anticipate Salah falling off a cliff. You know, and the only argument
they may have, but the new contracts would get. Just a quick question, Mart. I know before I come to Millie as well. We've spoke about this, Mart. I'll be honest. My opinion is, if Trent would have signed this new deal, I don't think Mo would have got it.
He doesn't. No, I don't think they could have. I think they thought we can't afford to lose two of these assets on a free.
It was either Trent or Mo.
Yeah,
I know Trent obviously fucking didn't. Blah blah blah. But I mean, they probably would have wanted to build everything around Trent. Let's be honest about it.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I don't think he stays if Trent stays, and I think maybe this is the broken promises that's been alluded to. There's been whispers that it was to do with playing minutes, and obviously new signings not affecting his playing time and stuff. Again, that's just rumours, so we don't know. We're speculating, but you know, that would lead to the broken promises stuff. But again, if it was, would he have started the first few games of the season? I mean, I think if you're looking at it from that perspective, he probably would have. See, what that CM196 has said there for me is exactly it. You know,
that's we can both, us three can agree, 100% agree.
Yeah.
He is the future. Florian is the fucking future of this team.
Yeah, but this is the bottom line. The bottom line of all of this is next week he goes to Africa for the African Cup of Nations. He's not going to be present. So, I you know, regardless of what you think about Slot, he had to try something in the short term, regardless of Salah, to get something bedded in before he goes. And then worst case scenario is he's going next summer. Like, Liverpool have got to start building post Salah at some point. You know,
that's why they've had to back the manager's choices, Matt.
Yeah, I think they're backing their own choice. I think Liverpool didn't spend the money they spent without knowing that Salah wouldn't be part of the future team. This is to cover Salah's loss, whatever that may be. You know, so they're backing themselves that look, Salah is going to have to go at some point, and they may think, do you know what? It may actually be easier for us to get rid of him while he's playing shit. You know, if we have to wave him off when he's just scored 40 goals a season, it's going to be a lot harder than when he's fucking playing crap and he's not in the team.
Yeah. Yeah, I massively agree with you. Million, do you know what I just want to say as well? You know, when you look at it now and you take a step back, you know, I know most may think that the club are going against them. Maybe. But I think the club have probably seen this happening with him kicking off a bit. No, because he's going to eventually... He's always going to come out to the side eventually. Do you know what I mean? But do you remember a couple of months ago, there was a fucking rumour going round. I think it was either Edwards or Hughes with Saudi. Both of them with Saudi. And I think they've been starting to tee up a few fucking clubs for them. And I know people, you know, I know a few people don't like that. But that's the way fucking business is.
I'm not as cutthroat as all of you. No,
Nah.
there's no way.
No one wants Salah out, lads, but
No,
unfortunately,
Ben does.
Salah, you know, Mo,
I'm just.
it's going to catch up to him in the league, isn't it? It's one of them.
Yeah,
Reality's got to bite everyone in the arse. Mo Salah is not a consistent starter for Liverpool moving forward. So it's whether he can accept that he's going to be in and out of the starting 11 or not. And if he's not, then he needs to go for his own benefit. I would love him to stay, and
Yeah.
£400 a week.
I want to turn the season round, and he's with us at the end. Let's be fucking honest about it.
Yeah, you don't write him off. No one with a brain writes Mo Salah off. You don't. Whether he's fucking 72. The fella
he just go and score at Atzik after you've fucking said that. He's that type, isn't he?
Yeah, 100%.
He's been Liverpool's best finisher. But Millie, you know, the club have to also look from there the future. Do you know what I mean? And you know, over the last few months, we've seen them being in Saudi for a reason. Could be to speak to a few clubs, which they have to do. They have to future-proof Liverpool, don't they? With the financials, etc. We've then started seeing the links coming out. Semenyo's potential Elise. Can't see that happening right this second. But I mean, it all points to the fact that Mo Salah will be going, doesn't it?
It does. I just don't like that this is the way that it is. I'm not as cutthroat as you lot. I'm like, no, they shouldn't be going behind his back and talking to other clubs. That's horrible. He should be involved. Everyone should sit together and discuss it. But
remember, I'm not saying they went behind his back. If you remember what I said at the start of the show,
I know.
I think he wants to go himself.
I think the break between
give him 10-year deal. Fuck it, give him a 10-year deal.
Thank you. This is why I don't work for the club, because I just feel like they'd come and they'd be like, but I want to start, and I'd be like, okay,
bring Milner back, get fucking Joel Matip on a 5-year deal.
I think Joel Matip over Canate.
Fucking right, give him 10 years as well.
Honestly, I don't even get with Salah. Like, yes, they have to future-proof the club. I'm not naive to that. That's a fact, because we don't want to put everything on Salah, and then when he eventually leaves, we're like, oh fuck, what do we do now? That's it is what it is. And I've been the biggest Florian Wirtz cheerleader from the start of the season. We all know this. I've been absolutely singing his praises, and I think that him, Isak, Ekitike, Szoboszlai, they're all fantastic, and that is where we need to build from. But
Curtis is another one they need to build from.
Curtis Jones, my brother, just put it out there. My brother.
I know we've had that chat before about
if you believe the rumours, he was fantastic, and he's one of them that's come out and he's actually playing for the badge since he come out and said we're in the shit and we need to sort this out. He's been fantastic, and I feel like he's a bit of a litmus test for whether you actually know about football, because I've actually liked Curtis for a few seasons now. Don't get me wrong, he has his howls.
That's the problem. He's fucking in and out the sides, isn't he?
We have a lot of problems like that.
If Jones keeps fit, he's captain material as well. So, Curtis, I want to bring this. I want to bring this up. I'll start with you. I want you to start with this, because obviously, it's sad. It's upsetting if Mo's played his last game for Liverpool. I think he has, right? Doesn't mean just me saying that doesn't mean I want it to happen. Of course not. I'd love nothing more than fucking Salah to never get old as a player and stayed with Liverpool. It's given me some of the best nights of my life. You know what I mean? As I say, I've got a business in Dubai, blah, blah, blah. So I've always, I've seen pictures of him everywhere. And he's got houses in Dubai. His agent lives in Dubai. He's always fucking around in Dubai when he's not playing footy. So, he's huge in the Middle East. And I've always thought everyone knows he wants to go there. Millie, 5-star views. That's
Thank
it.
You, everyone. Thank
bring
you.
it up for nothing. But Millie, Mike's question here, I said I'd go back to it, so I'll stick to be weird. How does it unify the fan base? How do the club and Salah sort this out? Because for me, right, I'll be honest, I don't think either party, Liverpool or him, are going to say sorry. But what may happen is a shake of the hands, and it could be from the club to say to Mo, if you are going, and we are doing the deal for you to go, you have to speak to the fans.
Yeah, I think that's an absolute minimum. Do I think there's a solution where everyone's happy? No, because people are going to. Everyone has different opinions, and obviously the club comes first completely. But I feel like, for me, Slot isn't the club and Salah isn't the club, so it's just ripped everyone apart. And I don't think there is. We'd all love to see Salah play, but then you bring Salah in, then the people that are annoyed about how he's gone about it, and then will be like, oh, well, why are you bringing him back in when he's just had that outburst? That's not very professional. And then if he doesn't come back in, the people that want him back in, like me, are going to be like, but that's not fair. But like, do you know what I mean? It's just, there is no way, because this has literally torn us into two and then torn us again.
The fan base, Millie, is on its fucking arse, mate, because
it's terrible.
People are arguing, and the problem is, right, there's a difference between criticising a player and then thinking they've done fuck all for Liverpool.
Yeah.
I've been vocal on Salah this season. Not that I like to be, because I idolise Mo Salah. But as soon as I seen him throwing his top at Frankfurt, I thought he's fucking sulking again. And some people are like, "Oh, you're racist." I'm not. I'm
That's been
calling it
massively blown out of proportion over the last week as well.
Exactly. And I had it today on a fucking tweet today from some gobshite, and I fucking said something back to him. The facts are, I've never, if I've made a comment on any player, I've never discredited what they've done. Mo Salah's been unbelievable. I'm one of the fucking ones that travel around everywhere watching them. Europe, home, away, when I'm back home. So I know what he's done for Liverpool, and I'll never forget it. For me, he's been one of the best players I've ever watched. He's given me some. Mark, we were together when he fucking spun the asses of Man City, lad, in the Kop. Know what I mean? I left with the fucking headache that nearly exploded in my head from shouting that much, lad. You know what I mean? We were together. You know what I mean? So look at that. Everyone's got some little memories of this fucker, just creating the best memories for Liverpool fans. And if he is to go, he goes on the highest of pedestal. One of the best ever Liverpool players. But the ending, I have always thought the ending was never going to end well, Matt. Because when you tell a player who's got the ego and the quality that he's got that you're going to be a bit part player, it's hard for them to accept. Ronaldo couldn't accept it. That's why he's fucking like 50 years of age, still fucking running around playing 40, lads. Do you know what I mean? That no one's even asked. He's still doing fucking overheads in fucking Saudi Arabia.
No.
But it's going to be a sad day, lads. But a big message has to be, you may not have to say sorry to the club, speak to the fans, and let's give everyone a bit of closure, if it is to be his final few weeks at Liverpool.
Yeah, no, exactly that. Just answering Mike's question, there's a life lesson in it. You can never please everyone. No, whatever outcome that gets picked. I mean, I think the best resolution is obviously he doesn't go and he comes back into the squad, but hell of a backtrack. And I think he's gone too far to let himself do that now. So, yeah, it will be. You know, all I ask is that the fella deserves the biggest, best is. You know, he can't. You know, they can't backdoor him. You know, I said earlier about compartmentalizing. You know, listen, if Hughes and Edwards and Slot and Salah and Rami Abbas get to the point where they, whether it's in the heat of the moment, agree that he's going, you know, put that to the side. You know, put that to the side. That's dealt with. He's going. Now look at what he's done for the football club. Because, you know, we look back to certain players, don't we, that were brought in under Klopp, and it's not to discredit any of the other ones, but you look at it and go, you know, you look at Alisson, Van Dijk, Salah, you know, those three players, you know, you've got Bobby and Sadio, but those three players like that spine that we brought in that we just took Liverpool to heights that we didn't think we'd ever see at some point, you know, especially with people of our age. You know, we'd never seen us win a league. We'd had that Champions League in 2005, but we were like,
always felt like we were just weighing it in the big heights for years, wasn't it? And then he came along with the Egan's and Mane.
Exactly, and he's got to, you know, he's got to get that send off like they all do, you know, like Jurgen did, like Trent did, like Bobby did, you know, like Sadio got, it was a bit lesser than those, but he still got a nice send off. Virgil and Alisson send offs will be like fucking carnivals. Like, they deserve that. You know, they've given us everything, and it's not about what they're like off the pitch or what they do off the pitch. You know, on the pitch, like you said, they've given us the best nights as Liverpool fans. And if they do deprive us, because they're not just depriving Salah of that, it's us. You know, because if that's Salah's last game, we all want to be there. You know, so they can't deprive the fan base and the player of that. They've got to be professionals about it. And if it's going to happen, give us the opportunity to say goodbye. And just kind of tagging on to I can't load the comments on my laptop, but the one there from the Ekatike account underneath. I think the problem they've got is that they're going to make up, they're in charge of both decisions, and they're not going to let Slot go because of the optic of it. They can't be seen to sack the manager off of the back of the players' comments, even if it's not. And even if Slot goes and shits the bed for the next 4 weeks and we lose, they just can't let that be the optic.
Realistically, Slot is being sacked if he is in the next few weeks.
Performance,
lads. Performance related. Do you know what I mean?
As soon as Xabi Alonso becomes available, or it gets to the summer and someone like Nagelsmann or someone like Enrique becomes available, they will get their ears pricked up. At the moment, it's not, because number one, they've now got this Salah situation. Number two, the absolute pool of bums that you would get to replace.
Keep pulling their hair out, thinking, how many issues keeps fucking arising at this club, lads?
Exactly that. And they're going to deal with one or the other. They won't sack him yet because they can't.
Mill, the harsh reality CM is saying here of success is we end up with players who we idolise who eventually leave. But this is it. But this, do you know what? It'd be devastating to see Mo go. Of course it will, And at least it softens the blow if he goes to Saudi. Do you know what I mean? It's not like he's in his prime right now, going to fucking City or something like that. But one thing's for sure is it's about the next stage of Liverpool, isn't it? The next lot. And for me, where TK and Isak are the next phase for Liverpool. And this is why the send-off, if Mo is to go in the next few weeks, is important, because he's got to pass the torch to Florian, in my opinion. He's the one who's going to be, for me, he's the best player anyway. Do you know what I mean? I know he's had his little moments. There's things I see at Florian, I go, there's no one like that in the Liverpool team right now. He's tough and shit like that. He's going to be the best player at Liverpool. You can see it already. He's coming to life right now, and shit like that. But, if there was a message to Mo Salah and the club right now, what would it be from you?
From me?
Yeah.
From Mo, I would say valid crash out king, because, we've all been there. And, sometimes you just can't control what you have to say. But I think that I would say we don't want this to be the way that you go. Yep. So please, can we find a solution where we get to give you what you deserve? If this is it, like Martin was saying, if this is it.
And also add on to this, Mill, make sure you answer this question for me after you have a comment.
I'm bad with top rating people. I'm
not. Go on, do what you were talking about, but I want you to answer this as well.
Yeah, I think, like we're saying, we deserve it as much as him to get a send off that he deserves. I don't think that it should be this hush out the back door. He goes off to AFCON and that's it. I mean, we never see him play again in a Liverpool shirt. I don't like that. That doesn't sit well with me for someone that's given as much as he has for this football club. I think for the club, I would say sack's going to happen. We all know that right now, but it's just.
In my opinion, they will be sacking Sloth.
Oh, yeah, he will go, but it won't be in the next couple of weeks. Like, it should have been weeks ago. This is the problem. I think we don't come to this scenario that we're in right now had they have done the right things 2-3 weeks ago and cut him off. But, it's all in the past, isn't it? What can you do? It's great with hindsight. Salah, I actually don't want Salah to come out and publicly apologise, because I do think what he said had some weight behind it. And I think, given that on the back of that, he's then had Cara rabbiting on Sky Sports and all the rest of it. Yeah. I don't think it's kind of like leveling itself out. I think apologise behind the scenes, try and make amends, and see if we can get you back on that pitch, even if it is just till the end of the season. I just want you to have what you deserve and what we deserve, and I want everyone to be happy. Please, can we all stop fighting?
Where does he rank in the Liverpool greats, man?
I'd say top 5, if not top 3. I'm not going to give a definitive position because I'm a fence sitter.
Marty's in there he's in the 3 of Gerrard, Dalglish, and him.
Not me. What do I think?
Yeah.
See, we had this conversation a couple of weeks ago, didn't we? I'm always quite era dependent. I think whenever you bring up the debate of like VVD or Alisson, the older guard will always pop up and say, Clements, Hansen, Souness, Dalglish, Barnes. I wasn't old enough to see them. So
that would be it for me. This would be
I would agree with that. Yeah, I would agree with that. Yeah. I think, if I'm talking about just who I've seen, he's second. We were robbed of being able to see some of the greats, unfortunately, because we weren't old enough. So just on who I've been able to.
He has to be at the top for what he's done for the club with regards to like the Hilbert situation and all that. You know what I mean? He's done so much.
He's the king, isn't he? Like,
the king. He's fucking stands the fucking names after him.
He's just like a wall. He's just the man. Like, he just does. He's just a man. And then Stevie again. Stevie just carried the average Liverpool sides just through the shit, and the fact
Stevie deserved to be around these caliber of players, lad, didn't he?
Do you know what makes them great though? Is also what they're like after they retire. When you see Kenny, like you're proud that he's ours. Like, I was watching Kenny on the overlap, and I'm like, I'm so made up that he's our legend. Like, I didn't get to see him play, but I love him. And the same with Stevie. You see Stevie on TNT last night, you see him talking, you're like, oh, that's our Stevie, and it's like that kind of, I think you can almost elevate yourself even further up. Like, as a great player, but I think what kind of separates the elite players at times is how they carry themselves when they're not wearing the badge every week. And you can tell players like Kenny, like Stevie, and even we talk about, you talk about players like even like Phil Thompson, Alan Hansen, they're always at Liverpool events. They're always there. They're always in their Liverpool stuff. They're always present. They're always talking the club up. And for me, that's what, when you're having that conversation, elevates them up It's how they feel about the club. They love the club. And like what CM said, it's been absolutely spot on.
But Mart, I think what you've just said there is the best way to end the show, and that is, it's all well and good playing for Liverpool, but it's how you leave and afterwards that makes you what that real legend status is. And you see how Stevie's, Dalglish fights for everything, still for Liverpool. Stevie's trying to pour fucking water on the situation right now and calm it all down. And this is why the club and Mo, they have to shake hands on it and fucking sort this out, because I don't want Mo to leave this football club and not return and shit like that. I think it'd be amazing seeing Salah talking about Liverpool in the future on potentially the TNTs and shit like that. I want to see him in the stands. People know fucking hell the Kings back in the stands. Mo's here, do you know what I mean? And that's how it should be. I think if it ends the way it looks like it could end, we're never going to see that. Do you know what I mean? And let's be honest, we're talking of a player that's one of the best ever players to grace England football. Do you know what I mean? Premier League. Never mind just fucking Liverpool. Do you know what I mean? Of everywhere. Mo Salah has been unbelievable, and it's important for the club because, for all the hard work the club have done for Salah and all the hard work Salah's done for the club, it can't end just like this. It can't be like, out you fucking go, lad, see you later. You've mouthed off to us, so we're just going to drop the fucking shit on you as well. It can't be like that. So, Liverpool is too much of a good club to allow it. And I think they'll do the right thing with Mo. But that doesn't mean he's going to play again. And he needs to be given some sort of time with the fans where he can, probably the best thing to do is Mo is being a bit more honest and saying, I just think I need a break. And people will go, fair enough, lads. Fair enough. And
he's earned the right to shape his own future, and it's very few players.
Absolutely has. Privilege. People know the Jota situation is massively got to Mo. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? And he should be open about it. Do you know, just said it's difficult for me, and maybe he needs the break. And I think people will understand. And if that means him going is one of the best things for him and his career, and maybe just getting out of Liverpool for a bit, because so much like Jürgen, he was worn out, and I think potentially Mo is the same. I really do think Mo was fucking worn.
Form of game. He was absolutely broken. Like, I can't describe it. Like, we just stood there looking at him.
You were on the front row in Ross sits. You were fucking right next to him.
Right next to him. And you looked at him and you were like, it's hard to explain. Like, it's the most, by far and away, one of the most emotional things you ever experienced. And it's like, you were just looking at him and you were like, this guy that is just like this presence, and I hate the word, but aura, everything about him. And he broke there and then on the pitch, and he was vulnerable with us. I can't have that moment, and then 4 months later he's booted out the back door. I can't accept that.
Do you know, if you see him like that, can you imagine what he's like off camera?
Exactly that. You can't let.
Where have you been this fucking show, lads? Well, I can't fucking restart the fucking show again because you put
his fucking Isak fucking picture as well.
And then, fucking Dylan, lad, you fucking nuisance, yeah.
I'm semi-feeling like you guys are a bit more sympathetic after having me on.
I know. What have you done to us, you bastards?
You both got a bit.
I know.
10-year deals for everyone.
No, I know we've had a big debate about it. Like my point still stands is that the way he shouldn't have done it the way he did it.
Yeah.
But I cannot accept, and there will be a fallout, and there should be a fallout if they do not let us say goodbye to him. I'm 100%.
Absolutely.
Rightfully so. I think the best thing for the club, right, to go into the new way is they sort it out with Mo. I think Mo does need to move on personally. I think Liverpool they've got to stick with their guns and go with the three up front. That's the future of Liverpool. I still don't think they're finished with the squad building. We need a bit of width out there. We haven't replaced Diaz. I still think we need a ball player, something as close to potentially Trent he can find. Not saying a right back, but in the midfield. There's work still to be done. But they need to sort the Salah situation out, because I don't think Liverpool can carry on the whole season with this shit constantly popping up because if it doesn't get played or blah, blah, blah. So I think that January is probably a best shout, because let's make no mistake about it. Come the second half of the season, Liverpool have got to put the foot down and get back in the mix. We cannot miss top four. There's no excuses. This football club can't. And I genuinely believe, I said it on the two shows yesterday, Anfield Index and our own. I said, look, superstitious. I know all that superstitious stuff. I do believe that, and I think you earn your own luck. If Liverpool fucking get themselves out of this shit, right, something good will come at the end of it, and it'll be like something like winning the Champions League, because strange things happen. And Liverpool are amazing in the Champions League. We've seen it the other day when the mental state of this team was fucked. They went to Inter Milan, San Siro, difficult night, and get a win. They can go anywhere in Europe and get a win, but we've got to start knuckling down with it. And it's just a shame so much has gone wrong this season, but we stick with them all for as long as Mosier's he's out. You know what I mean? But there's still a lot on offer for this fucking team. Liverpool in the league, as mad as it is, the 3 or 4 fucking wins together from being back in the mix. That's how fucked it is. Because we may be shit, but all the fucking divvies above us, they are shit as well. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? It's just that we've looked terrible. But look, I just want one word answer. Millie, scoreline for the weekend.
2-1 Liverpool. Oof. The banker.
Come on. Matt, go on.
I see something daft like a 2-2 or something stupid.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Come on, get the positivity up.
Come on, lad.
Did I not tell you in the group chat that Liverpool beat Inter Milan?
Yeah, but now you're saying we're drawing, you fucking idiot.
Because we will.
Okay, I'm going
we fucking lost at home 4-1 to PSV, you fucking daft.
And 3-0 to Forest before that.
Exactly. 2-2's being polite. I don't know. It depends. All seriously, it depends if he fucking overthinks it or if he just goes a bit. Liverpool should win, and I back him to win 2 or 3-1. But like I said, it wouldn't surprise me if they done something daft, like a score draw or something.
Look, shout out to Bavarian. Look, I also want to say, smash a like and subscribe. Make sure you follow us all on Twitter. We're going to be back for the preview tomorrow.
What's your scoreline?
2-0. Yeah.
To optimistic.
Who, though?
Yeah, to who?
No, Liverpool. I think we'll win. I think.
First goal.
Fucking hell. Which side? For who? For fucking who, lads? No, I think we'll get a win. I'm hoping the manager. I think Kirk has deserves another run out. And I'm hoping he puts weight in for Maka and keeps everything else the same, because I think this team has got to start setting now and going on a bit of a run. And maybe the performances may not be great straight away, but eventually a couple of wins will get the performances up. But Reds, look, smash a like and subscribe. We'll be back tomorrow. Keep the faith, and hopefully things sort itself out with Mo Salah, because let's face it, the manager's going to be asked on Mo Salah tomorrow in his press conference. So keep posted. See you after.